All right, welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about that number one morning pattern. It's often I call it the dip and rip, and then we talk about the textbook dip and rip. And today we had really, literally an absolute box checker. Checked every single box on what we look for a morning day trade. Blew way past the goals. Had plenty of time to take profits. Walked you all the way through the trade, and that's what we do every single day, both on the Daily Income Trader system, which is that morning webinar where I go live 8:30 Eastern, as well as on the Steady Trade team where I go live at 9 p.m. Eastern. Walked all the way through that trade, going all the way back to 8:30 in the morning. So let's talk about it. Today is MGRX, and MGRX is amazing. Go to their website. It's incredible that they basically came out with some mango erectile dysfunction. Anyway, actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drop a clip from this morning over to the videographer and have him splice that in. Magnoceuticals. What is this? Men's Wellness. What is Magnoceuticals? Now featured on Weeble. What? Okay. Men's Health featured on Weeble. Okay. What? I'm confused. I mean, I know what Weeble is, but why are they? I'm so confused. What is this? Is this ED or what is it? What is this shit? Cool, confident. What is this? Oh my, what? Hey man, 6 million float. It's a freaking dip and rip. Hey man, love it. Listen, whatever this trash is, it'd probably kill you, but MGRX, what is this trash? Low float DNR, baby. I don't even know what the stuff is. Is it like supposed to be some nootropic or something? Whatever. Hey, man. Or maybe it's ED. I don't even know what it is. Dip and rip, man. Shorts are going to love this thing. So, and anyway, just right here, basically, is the summary. 8:35 a.m. Eastern. As soon as I saw this stock, I'm like, oh, here we go. Shorts are going to pile into this thing. They're going to pile in, and they're going to love it, okay? Then what we do is we look for that dip and rip, that break of the high of the day. And you can see right here is at 8:30 Eastern. When we were breaking it down, the high of the day was that 170 level. At the time of the webinar where I saw it, it was at $1.40. So that high of the day, that dip and rip style would be right here in the 170s. About an hour later into the 9:45 window, so even the time of day was compatible. It made that move. So let's talk about the boxes, the box checkers, okay? So you'll often hear me use that term, and that's referencing one of the worksheets. And this is the day trade long worksheet that we use in the Daily Income Trader system, as well as you've got multiple worksheets for longs and shorts and swing trades and longer term holds. But for the sake of today, we're talking about a morning dip and rip. So everything, and when I say boxes checked, these are the boxes I'm referencing. So right off the bat, is it a low float stock? Yes, it is. MGRX, the float was, let me double check, 6 million shares. So we always like those, that kind of cutoff criteria for us is less than 10 million shares. So it's a 6 million share. Is it up more than 10%? Oh yeah. I mean, it was up from $1 to $1.60. I mean, basically almost up, 50, 60, 70% in pre-market. So now we know we have demand. So remember, we care about low float stocks because we want small supply, okay? Under something that so many people don't take into consideration is the relation of supply and demand, okay? The stock market is a market. And it always kind of shocks me that people don't recognize this. And like what makes stocks go up hundreds of percent or 1,000% or whatever, okay? It is supply and demand imbalances. If everybody wants the stock and there's not many shares out there, just like Taylor Swift tickets, okay? If Taylor Swift is coming to town for one night, that means there's 20,000 tickets. Are those tickets, and when she's the hottest act out there, are those tickets going to sell for face value? Man, I don't know. So anyway, highly unlikely. So low float stock, that shows that we have limited demand or limited supply. Up more than 10% tells us that there's demand. Okay. If the stock is bidding up, okay, people are lifting the bid, obviously there's demand. Then also we look at unusual volume. Okay. So the stock was trading, I think, 5 million shares, basically traded the float in pre-market. The average volume, that's that key analytic we use. You can see the average volume is 100,000 shares a day. Okay. 100,000 a day, an entire trading day. And in pre-market, when we saw it on pre-market prep, it had already traded, I think, 4 or 5 million roughly. Kind of sounds like another indicator of supply and demand imbalances, right? So the next thing we look for is it a former runner? Now, this one wouldn't necessarily qualify as a former runner, but it was a recent IPO. So when we talk about former runner, we look for explosive moves on the daily chart. This thing just started trading a month ago. So to me, that makes it a former runner because of the fact that it's a recent IPO. Okay, it's in people's memory. That's why we like former runners, because it's in people's memory. And IPOs, listen, if you've seen the last few days, okay, we had IPO UCAR yesterday go from 10 to 75. Okay, we had another IPO up 100% plus today. So IPOs are on people's minds. So there we go. That qualifies, in my opinion, as a former runner because of the IPO. Is there a catalyst? They dropped a BS press release this morning, right at 8 a.m., well timed. Then we start breaking through the areas on the chart. Whole dollar, half dollar supports the set areas to set risk. And then we go through the entire setup. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. And basically, I did this and sent it to members of the Daily Income Trader system. And you can see that email right here. So whoops, let me scroll up. So I sent this email out at 9:17. Okay, remember, it didn't make the move until 9:45, which is our time of day we look for. And you can see all the levels laid out. Signal price of $1.70. Target price was the high twos. Guess it, look at that. I mean, went to 318, and then you would have had about, 45 minutes to take profit above the goal, okay? Because the goal was the high twos. It went to 319. So now that you have all those levels mapped out, you don't have to worry about any indecisiveness. Okay, I also gave you stop loss at $1.50. Okay, so that being said, then I break it all down. What a piece of trash scam. Go to their website if you want to laugh. That being said, so basically, we like these stocks because they attract short sellers, okay? We wanted a $1.50 entry live, but we didn't get it. $1.70 move. So all the things stepped right through. Now I say enforce the 945 rule, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that being said, my friends, so I mentally checked the boxes live on that webinar, but you could have done the same if you had the worksheets and if you had the methodology in the Daily Income Trader system. You could have absolutely nailed this stock, would have had low stress, would have known where to enter, where to exit, how to play it all the way through live on that webinar. So that being said, if you want to get on the next webinar, we do this every single day. We break them all down. Listen, do they all work? No. But what's great about what we do using Oracle and using the Daily Income Trader system is, guess what? If this hadn't worked, if it hadn't gone to 3+, you would have known where to stop out because Oracle gives us a stop loss. All right, everyone. Hope to see you on that webinar. Click the link below and we'll see you next time.